9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Monday, good people, and welcome to another edition of WWT Live as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. They call me a number of things. You can call me the professor. You can call me Gerard GB. As long as the name's not too derogatory, I think I'll answer it. And you catch me on the right day, you can call me the 5-time commentator of the year, but I don't normally, we don't flex like that around here. That's not what we do. But what we do is talk wrestling, and we like to talk about that. And there was plenty of that this weekend. And the good news is I've got a full house, and no, we're not in San Francisco for this. I've got a full house, including someone I've not seen in quite some time.
It's Deonne from At All Star Fandom.
Quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks!
Professor, I expect you to be doing that next time.
You know what? If I'm going to do that right, I'll have to let my hair down and let the hair just kind of fly.
You got to let it go, man.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I cannot complain. It's a Monday. I can't believe we're halfway through February already. So time is flying. It is flying for sure. Then we're also joined by an elected official who I hear is at 100%.
It's Councilman Pharaoh of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
I almost felt like bringing the theme for Welcome Back Cotter just for you, sir. Welcome back, final councilman.
Finally, the councilman has come back to WWT Live.
Welcome back, sir. How are you?
I'm great. 100%. Your councilman is all systems go. And my mom already had me trying to go run some errands. So I might try to go back to 89% councilman.
I get it. Because when you end up back on that kind of detail, that's when they know you're good. I get it. I get it. Well, it's good to have you back, sir. We are also joined by all things elite. Courtney is in the building. I know she probably is still very high from the weekend. How are you, Courtney? Oh, she's got her shades on. And wait, hold on. No. Do your intro because I have something to say. Go ahead.
Aussie coming back from Grand Slam, Australia. We had brawls, puppets, history making from the land down under.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
So I'm first of all, good day. Or should I say good day? Yes. But secondly, nice the shade change. This bandana is giving me real West Coast right now. What's happening here? Like, I don't know if I should crip walk or I don't know what should happen right now.
That Super Bowl performance changed, huh?
Pretty much.
I see. It's the halftime show. I got
right.
I got you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, last but certainly not least,
it's the Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey with
Honey Pop Predictions.
Honey is in the building. How are you, honey?
You're
muted.
I'm muted. How dare
yes.
I? What's up, guys? I'm doing well. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
God, it's like every day is just a new day. Every day is just a new day. Something new to discover. Something new to report. But I'm happy to be here, and I missed you guys. How was y'all weekend?
Indeed. You know what? It was a good weekend. It was a very good weekend. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Cynthia, good to have you back. Jasmine in the building. good to see you. Pachu, yes, 5-time. How about that? Boza, good to see you, sir. Let's see. If Jacob is here again, then I'll cash him cash app him $5 Aussie. Wow. Wow. Man, oh man.
All right.
Eric, good to see you. Let's see who else is Jasmine, I actually had the same question, but I didn't want to ask. Okay. I didn't want to be that guy. I was curious, like, okay, this East Coast girl has got this West Coast bandana on with this unrecognizable accent. I don't know what's happening right now, but so be it.
She's a mixture and jack of all trades. She's still very high from the Timeless Ones win.
I knew she would be.
And speaking of going forward, we're going to seem to be very high around WrestleMania season.
We'll get into all of that and why there could be some real relevance to that in a little bit. Eddie, good to see you. Special Nobody's always a pleasure. Jasim, welcome back. Yeet. Let's see. All right, so let's get into it. I already knew what was going to happen. So here we go. We'll start off, of course, Grand Slam Australia this past Saturday, a full weekend of wrestling. You had SmackDown, you had Vengeance Day, you had Grand Slam. So we'll start with Grand Slam Australia. Big night for AEW, capped off with this parting shot of Timeless Toni Storm winning the AEW Women's Championship for a fourth time.
Four times.
Listen, it's very significant. The company is 5 years old and she's the 4-time champion. So let me I will start with Courtney. So she did a watch along. So I'm sure you guys got to see her thoughts on it in real time. I'll ask you this. What was this the right move in light of everything else that happened at Grand Slam Australia? Was this the right move, Courtney?
Looking back at everything, yes, considering a lot of people did have questions on the Buddy and Okada match, which we'll talk about Buddy in a little bit. And also they just really want something, especially something from the hometown country, on getting a win. Of course, people were very excited to see Harley Cameron come back home to take on the CEO, Mercedes Moné. Also got to see Kyle Fletcher and Jay White come back. But this, and I feel like it's a hamster wheel with AEW when it comes to this women's division. Because if they want this to be the focal point, I was so happy this was the main event. And I was so happy it got overtime. Because if you're going to give the men's matches overtime, you got to do it equally with the women. And also, this really is a feel-good moment, not just for Toni, but this was actually a full circle moment for her, because she actually posted a throwback picture when she was a teenager at this exact stadium watching wrestling. So this was a full circle moment for her, and also making history on being a 4-time AEW Women's Champion. And I couldn't be more proud of her to come back to her home country, winning the AEW Women's Championship, and also leading the forefront in the women's division.
But is she?
Right.
But is she? And so I was gonna ask your question about the hamster wheel because I didn't fully understand where you were going with that. But no, let me ask that. What did you mean when you said that you felt like the women's division is on the hamster wheel? What do you mean?
The reason I say the hamster wheel, because I feel like we've had this talk many times, because a lot of times AEW doesn't really focus much on the women's division. And I understand with Mercedes being there, but giving equal opportunity to all the women in the division. Normally we see one match on Dynamite. We have seen a few matches on Collision, but would love to expand the women's matches a little bit. And also really thinking like, how can they expand it, or how can they be better? But this was actually a good moment over the weekend.
Okay. Interesting. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there were 5 matches on this card. Is that right?
Yes.
5, and 2 of them were women's matches and women's title matches at that. So Interesting. Let me ask you this, Councilman. I want to go back to one of the last comments that Courtney made, which is Toni Storm is leading the women's division. And I asked the question, is she? Because, of course, earlier that night, Mercedes versus Harley Cameron. Mercedes has clearly been, by all accounts, the leader of the women's division. So is it safe to say that with Toni Storm as the AEW women's champion that she's leading the division, or do we still have that real question in AEW?
Yeah, the question's still there. I don't think this win changed any of that. It's just my opinion. I think the main event happened because we're in Australia. This is where she's from. This is what was going to sell the tickets. And this has been your biggest story between these two with Mariah May and Toni Storm. So I think you executed Grand Slam well. But now Grand Slam's over. So when we go to Dynamite, does it still now go back to Mercedes being the TBS champion in her match over the women's championship? And then what is next for Timeless Toni Storm? Is it now battling Monet to show who's the leader of the women's division or who's the next one in line? But I think it really hasn't shown her being put in the forefront. I think it just happened to show that she was in the forefront for Saturday night, which was the right call. So the only thing we could do is see what happens on Dynamite if that is true. But as of right now, I would still have to say Mercedes Moné is still the one in the forefront of the women's division at AEW.
Deonne, does it help AEW to have seemingly two heads of the women's division, or is there two heads? Is it really that Mercedes is the head and Toni is the figurehead as the world champion?
Possibly, because I don't watch as much AEW, but the AEW that I watch, I love everything Toni Storm has done with that character. To me, just she's a face. She's the face of that women's division more than Monet. But I liked her character work. Her matches are always pretty solid. And she's that title should hold more weight, right, than the TBS title should. Mm-hmm. And she's been doing great character work, great matches. And for me, when I think about the women's division for AEW, Toni Storm is the first person who comes to mind for me. Okay. Mercedes, yeah, she has a lot of belts. She's a name. She's a face, right? She's gonna hopefully put butts in seats too, from a popularity standpoint, or just from a brand awareness. Like, hey, we know who she is from another place and everything she's done after that. But I hope that they don't have this whole two-headed dragon situation going on, because I think all the work Toni's put in, she sort of deserves to be that top spot. But again, this is nothing but my opinion on the little AEW that I do watch. But when I do watch it, I always watch her when she's on the screen. So that's from a casual fan.
Well, that's interesting, of course, because casual fans are the ones that actually grow companies. So that's interesting. Let me ask you this, Honey. How much longer can AEW continue until we get a collision between the world champion and the TNT champion? It is held, those two champions, no matter who's held those titles, they've held them as far apart for as long as they could, dating back to the inaugural TNT champion, or TBS champion, excuse me, that being Jade Cargill, who then was more popular than whoever was holding the world championship in AEW. How much longer can they keep these two apart?
I'm not sure if they can much longer, because it's starting to become that elephant in the room for me personally. If you were going to pose any of this question to me, I was definitely going to bring that up. The fact that they have done a really great job at keeping Toni Storm away from Mercedes. It's kind of like how we saw with Trick Williams and Obafemi. Mm-hmm. We only got that cross of them when they were both champions, and they eyed each other down, just happened to meet by chance. And after that, nothing up until the end of the year. I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to happen here, but I think that we're starting to get to this crossroads in the women's division. It's like, where's the elevation? Where's the putting over of the talent that you guys have been speaking of, And I feel like it's also a determination of which championship. It's kind of like, I'm looking at it also like from a comparison of a WWE standpoint as far as the titles, right? I'm thinking like AEW championship is the championship. That's like the tribal chief, Tony Storm tribal chief version. And then you have Mercedes with the workhorse championship. I mean, that's a stretch even for me to say, but I'm just saying, Tony Storm, I think it's a matter of time and it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Whatever their next big one is, I think I would want to pull the trigger on that, because not for nothing, we've held on it long enough, and you're getting me to that point where Mercedes has pretty much run through a lot of the women in the roster, and so has Tony Storm, and now she is 4-time AEW champion. We need to meet, because who's the better one? Who's the better woman? Who's the better champion? Who's the one that's going to elevate AEW? Maybe winner take all.
Interesting times for sure. So we'll certainly be watching how all of this potentially unfolds. But congratulations again to Tony Storm, the new AEW Women's World Champion. Now there was yes, there was another title on the line, and it involved the Continental Championship. Buddy Matthews taking on Kazuchika Okada, and Buddy Matthews ended up suffering an injury out of all points on his way to the ring. In his entrance, he suffered an injury, and he's now on crutches, which is kind of wild when you think about that. There was a picture posted of he and, of course, his wife. And for those who don't know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but mommy is his wife. Yes.
Mommy is
not everybody, sometimes you lose and sometimes you win, right? And so
listen now.
I mean,
Buddy got 3 championships, and we being honest. Ray's daughter, Alexa Bliss, and mommy. Like,
yes.
Buddy Murphy's winning. Let's not go there. Buddy's winning.
But Buddy is all right. He's not hurting for anything.
No.
Don't let the smooth crutches fool you. But congratulations to him for actually finishing the match, which is a really, really big deal. He apparently destroyed his ankle, according to him. And we don't know how long he's going to be out, but kudos to him for, again, making it through the match, and of course honoring his wife during the match. And if you saw the match, you were able to see the move that paid tribute to his wife. Now, since we're talking about Grand Slam Australia, congratulations to AEW. It is being reported that Grand Slam Australia is the 3rd biggest gate in company history. That follows, of course, All In at Wembley in 2023, and then All In at Wembley in 2024. The 2023 gate drew around 10 million. The 2024 gate drew around 6 million. And while the final numbers aren't in for Grand Slam Australia yet, 2 days before they were somewhere around 1.2, 1.3 million. And so no telling how large that's going to be by the time the final numbers are over. But I do want to ask you this, Councilman. If you had a chance to see Grand Slam Australia, how did it feel watching the camera shots of the crowd for Grand Slam?
It felt good. It felt great. We talked about this when they first announced Grand Slam, and just like being able to go overseas and if they'll be able to perform. And we said, like, yo, this is the formula you should stick to. Go over there, make a name for yourself. This is what people want to see over there. They want to see good wrestling shows. I think even changing the format to going to just 5 matches instead of 18 matches is what made them want to bring into the seats even more. So just seeing like better selection of matches, because I watched the full thing all the way through. Seeing them there, it's just like, okay, now this is where we wanted to see AEW. Let's keep this momentum right here going. I enjoyed it fully. I think everyone that was there got a great show. I think if you watch it on Max or wherever you checked it out, I think Grand Slam Australia was just an overall fantastic product that they put out.
That's great to hear. Deonne, your thoughts on the crowd there at Grand Slam?
Yeah, it was good to see. AEW always does great internationally because their roster is so heavily international too. For big shows like this is what, and I agree with Will, this is their formula. It should be, at least. I'm not sure what their formula looks like for in the States. I know we've talked about smaller venues, this and that, but seeing that for an AEW, because we all want we want all wrestling to thrive, right? Like that's the goal. So when we do see Edge is facing a crowd of no one over here in the States, and then we look over and we see a full building, it's like, okay, that's a good look for them. That's a good look for AEW. That's morale to allow the wrestlers probably on the roster too. So this was a big step for them. It's just, I'm always hesitant of how they capitalize off of this. A bit of momentum that they do get. How are they going to use this to make me watch weekly or watch the next show right after this, or get people to buy tickets to the next shows after this? So again, like I said, they do great internationally. They can keep doing their Grand Slams and their big shows internationally, but man, pick it up in the States somewhat, because I want to see this company thrive. A lot of good talent. Because I watched this one. I can't tell you last time I watched a full AEW because it didn't have 18 matches.
Right.
So to watch this one, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But something else isn't pulling me in on a week-to-week basis. What could that be? What's that momentum look like? So if they capitalize off it, I am all for it. But for this show, it was a breath of fresh air from what we've been seeing from AEW in the past.
Now I got to thank you. For someone you put me on, because I did not know, but now I know. Harley Cameron.
Listen.
Yo, put the company on her back.
Seriously.
Oh my God.
I'm dead serious. Like, I see big future for her in AEW.
She got it.
She got it.
She got it.
So let's talk about that, because Harley Cameron, of course, getting her shot against Mercedes Moné. And we talked about this on Friday. Would they or wouldn't they pull the trigger for Harley Cameron winning the TBS championship? It proved to be a great match. They did not pull the trigger. Honey, I got to ask you, do you think AEW made the right move in not pulling the trigger on Harley Cameron? Or should that environment, Grand Slam Australia, in front of her home country, should that have been the moment, or was she just not ready? Was the win her being in the match?
For right now, the win was her being in the match, and she put on a very stellar performance. She's done a really great job at being able to clap back and build up the story and rivalry between her and Mercedes. She's funny. She definitely has the total package, but I feel like with Harley Cameron, it was, that magician dangling a carrot in front of the rabbit before he makes it disappear. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a teaser to see the reactions from the crowd, to judge based on what the crowd thinks of her and how she's performing. And if, if there's a possibility that they can pull that trigger. I believe it is there, but this past weekend probably would have been too soon. Because I feel like this is something that could be long-standing between her and Mercedes, like even deeper than her and Willow, even deeper than her and Chris Statlander, even deeper than her and other rivalries that she might have had even prior to coming here. The Harley Cameron can be like a legit Harley Quinn to Mercedes is Batman or Poison Ivy, whatever it is that she's trying to pull. Like for my comic book heads, you guys know.
Courtney, I'll ask you a similar question. Did AEW get it right by not putting the strap on Harley Cameron this weekend, or did they miss a moment?
I'm not going to say they didn't. Unfortunately, it would have been nice for her to get it at her home country, but it's always fun seeing the chase for the title than getting it received. And I feel like with what happened this past weekend, seeing Harley wrestle, the crowd was really getting into it, because I actually watched her match against Mariah May. And even though it was non-title, when she was the then AEW Women's Champion, the fans were going crazy for her on an episode of Collision. And seeing her go up against Mercedes Moné, having mini Moné in the ring, having that little puppet alongside her. So this could be a really good, solid storyline for her. And also seeing what else they could do to capitalize it, especially going to Dynamite on Wednesday. So I would like to see more of the chemistry and development between Harley Cameron and Mercedes Moné and seeing where this is going to go.
Now, this is where I wish I had producers on deck to pull some clips up for me, because I would so pull up the clip from Friday when Courtney, you were like, Harley Cameron should be the TBS champion this weekend.
I know.
So what has caused your about face?
It's just, I want to have that bold prediction. I really want to do it. But then when I did my watch along, I'm thinking about this. So I said, okay, she didn't win it. And I was being a bit stubborn about it during my watch along. But then I had to give it from a different perspective and be like, okay, let me think long-term storyline with this. Let me think about this. And also this is also a blemish that AEW has had in the past, where they produce long-term storylines, but sometimes it's never executed after the match. Like they have a build up to a big match, and then after that, they don't capitalize it afterwards. So this could be really something that I want to see, and especially the long-term storytelling between these two and seeing where this is going to go, because Harley has it. The promo that she did last week, I was really sold. And also really thinking about it, because, you know, I said to myself, she's going to get it. She's going to get the title, because I know everybody was in a panic mode saying, like, why didn't she get the title and everything? And I was like, no. Let's see where this goes and how they're going to develop the storyline.
All right. Well, the other bit of wrestling that happened over the weekend, of course, was in the nation's capital. It was NXT Vengeance Day, and it kicked off with this moment right here. Stephanie Vacour wins the NXT North American Championship. Great match that she had there, winning that title. We also got to see Fraxium retain in just a barn burner of tag team match.
Honey's favorite team.
It was a fantastic match.
I'm about to say, there ain't no way you can't say this.
I know. It was a fantastic match. I just don't want Fraxium to be Fraxium. I don't want Fraxium to be Fraxium anymore, but they keep putting on these matches and it pisses me off, because it's like, oh, why you gotta be so good?
Yeah, it was great. And then of course Obafemi,
Lord have mercy,
the ruler,
retains the NXT the NXT Championship, defeating A-Town Down. We also saw Ethan Page defeat Javon Evans. Stupid. We saw, and I think I actually predicted this one, Trick Williams would lose to Eddie Thorpe, which was wild, to say the least. And of course, the night ended with Julia retaining the NXT Women's Championship in that fatal four-way, getting the pin over Roxanne Perez, which is pretty amazing. But then there were two images that we ended with. First, and before we get to the final image, I want to get to this image right here. Julia, Stephanie Vacour, both holding the women's championships in NXT. Of course, they've been in NXT now for a few months. What statement do you think is being made in the women's division with these two as your champion? Honey, you put your hand up, so go forth. I was going to give it to Courtney first, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I got really excited when I saw this image when this happened. And the most obvious thing that I noticed wasn't just them lifting the titles. Look at Stephanie's face, y'all.
She wants more.
I feel like we are gonna have a first women's dual champ in NXT. We're about to give one of these women the Keith Lee moment. That's what I think. So that got me really excited for this. And plus, these are the two top acquisitions from the international spectrum that we have acquired in WWE. And this is a big freaking deal. Both women have done a phenomenal job, and both women deserve these titles. But this was a great image to start the night off with.
For sure. Let me ask the councilman, who I know might feel some kind of way because someone else is not holding one of those championships. Here's the question for you. With this picture, have we moved into a new era of women's wrestling in NXT?
Yes, we have. And the bigger question I want to ask, because I was asked about this, has Stephanie Vacour taken Julia's thunder? Because it seems like a lot of people have moved from the Julia train to the Vacour train. And here's why I bring that up. She is seen more on television weekly than Julia. Her match was the more anticipated match that everybody wanted outside of the main event. And even in the main event, Julia is not the focal point. Bayley, Roxanne, and Cora were. And it has been seen since she's been champion. I don't know if they're just holding it for setting her up for something, but it kind of seems like that thunder that she had has kind of gone down and transferred to the one that's looking at her title. Now, I just want to know, do y'all see what I was asked as well?
It's a great question.
Who's answering first?
I have a theory. I'm going to wait till you all are done. See if anybody hits my theory. Not Austin.
I don't know.
Thank you, counselor. Thank you.
Wait, I missed that. That one went over my head. I was too busy thinking about. I was thinking about the question.
That's good. It hit spot on. I was like, I see what you did.
No, I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's really like stealing of any thunder. I'm easily attracted to watching both of these women duke it out in the ring like any day of the week. But I do understand your sentiment, Councilman, about them. Hello, you're invasive. My dog, sorry guys, but they have shown Stephanie a lot more. She is she is booked for matches literally every week. I don't know. I can't personally say. I feel like they both have. I feel like they both have that thunder. You know what I mean?
Articles are being talked about Vacour though,
and they're.
I don't like pitting women against each other either.
So. No, I'm not. I'm not.
I know.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
And they're both great, but there's just something about Stephanie, man. I mean, in ring, the aura that she has. I don't know, man. Like there's some. Like you can look at this picture and be like, oh, she's looking at that title. Oh, crap's about to hit the fan like real soon. From a Thunder standpoint, man, like both hyped when they came in, but like I said, there's something about Stephanie that you look at her and you see her in ring, you anticipate those matches. Honestly, I almost turned the TV off after I saw her match. I was like, this is the best it's going to get tonight. This is the best it's going to get tonight. So, but no, there's just something about her. You anticipate, you look forward to her matches or being on screen.
The fact that they started with this match was wild to me. Like when I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, it was interesting."
And to be honest with you, I almost didn't want her to win just because of I know how good Fallon is, and Fallon was proving that in that match Saturday. And I'm just like, man, because I was talking on the Kayfabe podcast about I'm bummed that they didn't give her a real title run, and they kept putting her in fatal influences, beefs, and tag teams because Fallon is amazing in the ring. She showed that Saturdays. I was just like, but again, here's where we are, and
it's not a bad place to be though. You know what I mean? You're NXT, you're like, this
definitely
is not a bad
not.
place
It's just NXT's women's roster just keeps literally getting better with time.
Yeah.
And as long as you have guys like Shawn Michaels at the helm of it, this brand is going to be A-okay in the future. But it's obviously in the best of hands. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, do you want to tackle this question?
I'm gonna feel bad because I did not watch NXT Vengeance over the weekend.
Doggone
But
it.
I know I
Cancel
didn't.
Christmas. Cut this woman's mic off.
I didn't.
And we watched shows.
Listen,
We
wait. And
I
hers
watched
was
yours.
later.
My-
Hers
Yeah.
was late. My
You had time to
Lord.
see it.
Actually, no, I didn't. I had an obligation earlier in the day, so
She
I
said
had
I
to
had
get to
things,
bed.
I had
okay.
things to do.
Wait,
Dude.
let's not act like NXT's Vengeance Day hasn't been up for 2 days.
No.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. So I will say this. I think the answer to that question isn't so much the stealing of the thunder, but what I do think is this is the challenge of introducing so much new talent at the same time.
Mhm.
You're having to make adjustments, and I mean, if you think about, Julia had been rumored for months, but then Stephanie kind of came out of nowhere. You know, she had that great match at Forbidden Door with Mercedes. Then shortly after that, she's relinquishing the CMLL Women's Championship. One day she's signed to WWE. The next, she's on a card in Mexico City. And then a week later, she's showing up on NXT television right around the same time as Julia. So you're looking at not just 2 new stars, but 2 world champions that have shown up at NXT. So when I answer both questions, I think people are trying, the time that would have been devoted solely to getting to know one of those stars is now being split among 2 and arguably 3 when you throw Zarya in there. So they've kind of paired Zarya off with Soruka to kind of give us a different look at Zarya. These 2 are now your champions, and so does it give us a new era? It absolutely does. This honestly is akin to when Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura showed up at NXT.
Very much so.
NXT immediately changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the talent that came in had to step up from there. So anybody who was just learning the craft, you now have to deal with 2 former world champions. Two guys who have been dealing well over the world. Now we have this in the women's division. And consider that a women's title match started the show, a women's title match ended the show. You got all of this immense talent there. So with these 2 at the top of the NXT women's division, it's a problem. It's a problem. And so with that said, that would be a solid enough go-home shot. But then we get this. We talk about former world champions showing up. Here comes a 3-time TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace, fresh off of her second appearance at the Royal Rumble. And now, in a giant statement with her shirt, "We Are NXT," tells the world that she is now a part of NXT.
See you Tuesday.
Nope.
So here's my question. With Jordynne Grace entering the group chat, Julia and Stephanie Vacour standing in the middle of the ring with these women's championships, what does that do to the Fallon Henleys and the Cora Jades of the world?
Oh, man.
Wake up.
Time to step up.
Wake up. Rise and shine.
Well, Cora Jade will be doing some stuff in TNA, right?
Yeah,
She could be, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Cora needs that win.
She does.
Somebody talked about that too in the IWC this weekend. Was like, Cora needs a belt before she leaves. Like that, she cannot move up without a belt because she needs to have her stuff solidified from the 2.0 era, which they just completely retconned.
Mm-hmm.
She has to, and it can't just be a TNA. It has to be one of those titles.
I think that's tough though. because Roxanne's moving on up. So now it's like,
Oh, yeah, no.
I kind of wanted the last hurrah thing with Roxanne and Cora Jade, that, you know, bad blood, you know, very Sasha Bailey, you know, at like that first match. Like I needed something a little bit like that, but I think we'll probably get that on the main roster. So I'm gonna be patient.
Listen, the statue for the PC of Roxanne is being made as we speak. Her NXT time, she's fulfilled it. They're putting the monument up as we speak.
And she got a big night tonight. I feel like I feel like a proud mama.
We will get into that night in a little bit. No worries, guys, for sure. But this story right here,
me and you,
I knew we were going to have to talk about it. So for those who are unaware, Mi Chin, the artist formerly known as Mia Yim, was on the Speak Easy podcast. And as part of the Speak Easy podcast, she let out I think a startling acknowledgement about the WWE drug policy, particularly connected to marijuana. And so this is what she said, and I quote, she says, because it's legal, they've kind of accepted it. So before, that used to be, marijuana used to be on the drug list, and they took that off a couple of years ago. So when I get home on Saturdays, I'll do that and just chill out all day, and then I get back into the gym on Sunday through Wednesday, I work out. Now, we know that there have been wrestlers in the past who have been suspended on the drug policy because of marijuana. My question to you, and I'll start with you, Courtney. I'll start with you on this one. What does
I saw your face for that.
No, I had something in my head on that. I'll start with you on this one, and the question is this: what impression does it give to you that marijuana is accepted in the WWE? Does it matter? Do you think it's going to influence, enhance, detract, take away from what they do in the ring? What are your thoughts connected to this?
I will say, when I read this report, I will be like, well, and I always have to put this in perspective, because as long as you're not doing any harm to anybody around you, you use it responsibly, and you're not reckless, then that would be fine. I'm just being short and sweet to the point.
Stop, sir. Stop it, sir.
So I didn't do it. What in the world? I did not do it. Deonne, same question. Does this news for you impact anything you think or feel about superstars in WWE? Does it help? Does it not? What are your thoughts?
No, I'm just like trying to think about like their past drug policies, you know, like they were pretty stern with it, but then I think even like the NFL maybe even loosened theirs, where it's not a suspension anymore. I think it's just fines and whatever other violation that they might have. So I think the fact that it's become like, you know, it's not the worst thing you can do, sort of thing, you know, especially if it's used for recovery too, because I think that was even a thing that popped up years ago as well. Ricky Williams stands and lives by that. So hearing this, I mean, it's going to sound old, like it's 2025. I just assume that you might. So I'm at that point. But no, it doesn't change my mind of like the drug policy or any wrestlers at all.
Okay. Councilman, your thoughts on this?
I think it's excellent. I think we missing a big question. When the Strand's coming out? Okay. When's the Uso Kush dropping?
Oh
wow!
Where's my youth pack? All right, that's what I can't wait for. When these names coming out?
Wow!
I need the RKO Kush. Like yes,
wow.
I need it all, especially
that RV Diesel.
That RV Diesel, man. Come on, and especially it's very funny and coincidental that this comes out with a WrestleMania that's going to be on 420.
420, yeah.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, yo.
Y'all saw the group chat. I answered it late, but y'all saw the group chat. I'm like, all right, fine.
And like, I guess I'm gonna come to Mania now. I guess
I gotta go now, right?
But to Deon's point, though, I think just because of all of the properties that they do contain when it comes to healing, not just of the body, but even for like a mental standpoint, like I think this is a better alternative to, like Sindil said, of like rather than going to like drinking booze all the time to try to like be able to keep a mindset. So I know some of like the very positive properties that when it comes to cannabis. And so, and again, too, we also know, you know, the other side of it if you abuse it and everything, but I think it helps a lot of more people, especially athletes, and for them to now not have to worry about losing their livelihood because of it. I think it's just a great step forward as far as the progression for WWE.
All right. So yeah, there it is. For those who are interested, that's the policy with WWE. So good to see. All right.
Matt Riddle somewhere. Matt Riddle, all I know is somewhere blowing smoke and punching the air right now.
Well done. So let's talk about this. This weekend was a very full weekend. Of course, SmackDown. We had NXT Vengeance Day. We had Grand Slam Australia. And then the premiere last night of WWE LFG, Legends and Future Greats. 16 hopefuls who are currently in the WWE Performance Center being paired with 4 Hall of Fame coaches. That includes, wait, did Mickey make it to the Hall of Fame yet? Oh boy, I don't know.
Wow. Is she not?
No, I don't think so.
No, she has a Legends deal, but I don't know an official Hall of Fame.
Didn't she?
Oh, she better be if she's not.
No.
Someone get me straight on that. Somebody get me straight on that.
Oh, wow.
She's a future.
I don't think she's in the Hall of Fame.
Legends deal.
But you got Mickey James. You've got the other 3 are definitely Hall of Famers. Bubba Ray Dudley, Booker T, and The Undertaker. And we got to see these future greats involved in promos, in-ring work. We saw a couple of matches. What were your thoughts on WWE LFG? Courtney, did you get a chance to watch this?
I actually, I did watch it last night.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's hear what you have to say. Listen, we see where the line is too.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Courtney, do what you do, girl.
Hey.
Hey, we listen and we judge internally.
As quoted on our great podcast every Saturday.
I actually did watch the episode last night, and it was nice seeing all the prospects. I will say it was nice to see Vic Joseph and Jeremy Borjas on commentary during the matches. There was a few standouts that I was really impressed with, and I think I might have been so blindedly out of the dark because I did not know Anthony Luke was dating Maxine Dupree until he put that out there during the show. So
hey, they just got engaged.
Yes, I did not know that. That was like major. That was really awesome, and really seeing the passion in there. The one takeaway that I had was I don't think people realize how hard it is to do promos, because when some of the prospects were doing promos in front of the coaches, there was a lot of nervousness and they kind of had to shake it off. But I don't think a lot of people realize it because they have to dig a lot of deep on why they want this. I mean, sure, everybody can say like, oh, I've been wanting this since I was a child, or you're my favorite superstar growing up. But it's just really digging a little deep and just finding the why in there. I can probably say this from my personal experience when I stepped right back into pageantry and I had to figure out my why on why I wanted to do pageantry again, what was my purpose and what was my vision going into it. And most of them actually really did nail it when it comes to promos. And this actually goes back to our conversation a couple months ago. What is important, in-ring work or charisma and bike work? And it was really nice to see some of the perspectives, learning and getting feedback from all the coaches, and also seeing some of their personalities shine up. There's a few I actually did like. I did like Danny, and also because she's a former NFL cheerleader, and she was really good in her match against Tyra May Steele. It was nice to see the ladies come back in. Shiloh is another favorite of mine. He just really has that personality, and also doing the promo with him. And also when Bubba Ray gave him feedback, he was trying to get kind of turning up the aggression a little bit on the promo, because at first when he did it, it was like sweet and humble and trying to sugarcoat it a bit, as Bubba would say, and trying to turn up the heat, saying, if you were in a match with Booker T, what would you say to him? And that was just really fun to watch. But the first episode I did enjoy, and already looking forward to episode 2.
What else was fun to watch this weekend?
What's that?
Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day was phenomenal. Besides 2 sham wins that I didn't agree with, but other than that, it was a great time.
Well, you know what's even more interesting about that? That the prospects on LFG, one of them will win a contract to a program she doesn't watch. That's wild. That's wild. I promise you that's wild. Yeah. But with that, Deonne, did you get a chance to watch this? Were there any standouts to you?
Yeah, I went through it today, but standouts, well, I think my biggest thing for this, and I love the heat that they had with the guy with Bully Ray. Like I think he's gonna be, he's just lack of a better term, an ass clown. But anyway, I think this show was like a great evolution from Tough Enough. Yeah, because we already have them in with the PC, and they're on a weekly show. Like, this was a great evolution for that, because I don't think you could have gotten away with doing Tough Enough again in that sort of reality sort of base, like of a real world or stuff like it used to be. This was a great pivot for it, and the legends that they have for it was pretty great. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be like 8 episodes is what I saw. So I think I'm going to be tuning in A&E for a lot of this, because that reality based sort of, again, Courtney said it, standing in front of legends and cutting promos, they're going to be doing that in the PC already in their promo classes. So this is helping them even more when those people across the table now are Booker T, Undertaker, and Bully Ray and Mickey James. I'm hoping to see like a lot of growth from them, and who knows, like Courtney might pick up to somebody or in print on someone, and then she'll watch NXT weekly. This is this is what is going to happen.
Deonne.
What? This is what's going to happen. I'm sure of it.
Well, you know what, Deonne, to that point,
I'm optimistic.
Well, here's the thing. You and the councilman were not watching AEW. Courtney shared some things about AEW, and it influenced you both to watch AEW to the point where you stayed up late and watched Grand Slam Australia this weekend. I think it's only fair that, she would allow someone to impress upon her, so she might open up her horizons for NXT as well. So
I believe imprinting is PG. Say it. I believe it is.
This is what I was trying to figure out. What does mean?
Wait, what said? Oh Lord,
I don't know.
It's TMI.
Does that mean you haven't been paid?
Oh
no, he's saying he's ashy as hell. That's what he's saying.
Oh,
it's the 17th of Black History Month, and he still doesn't have any body butter. You should have placed your order.
And any standouts for you on this particular show, honey?
Quite a few, but the number one show stealer for me of last night's episode was very much Tyra May steal.
Mhm.
Baby girl, you have a gift, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. And then you picked the right one. And not for nothing, I was hoping she'd pick him. And she was very deceiving to me at first because she came off like very baby face to me. But then her in-ring work just gave me total heel. And I was like, all right, so if we can have a mean, aggressive Olympic gold medalist who's a woman, that would be pretty damn sickening. Coming out with a gold medal in her teeth, like I'm ready, like Brock Lesnar level type aggression for this girl. And she's gonna shoot to the stars. I already know that for her. The fact that she also doesn't have did she have much training before she came to the Performance Center?
No, she had no training, but before she came to
that's what it was
that
Taker looked over at Sean, was like, and how you said she's had no training since before coming here? Sean was like, nothing, nada. Wow. She has something very special. I did agree with Bully Ray when he spoke to Maxine's, what's his, I don't know.
Luke. His last name is Luke.
Yes, Anthony Luke, I think. Yeah, Anthony Luke, yes. He's special. And I totally agreed with Bully Ray because I was saying it to Pachu as we were watching the episode. I'm like, I don't know why, but his cells are giving me Dwayne Johnson. Very early Dwayne Johnson, white boots rock.
White boots.
The Final Councilman's favorite version of the rock. But he's a standout. Shiloh, I love Shiloh. And for some reason, BJ was getting on my nerves, but I think that's why it's going to work. So those are my 4 favorites that I got the eyes on. But Tyra May Steele is just taking everything for me. And that Bailey Humphrey girl.
She's gonna be a strong one.
Good God.
Councilman, any standouts for you?
I didn't watch this.
Okay.
I'm petty though. I'm not watching nothing with Mickey James.
They're getting.
You're not watching anything with Mickey James.
They're getting a contract to go to your show on Tuesday.
I know why. I know why.
Till me and Mickey James have us a conversation, till she contacts the councilman.
For what?
I need to know.
I've never forgiven her for calling Alexa Bliss biscuit butt. Okay, never forgave her for that. Never. How dare you, young lady? How dare you? Okay, I do not appreciate it. Will I probably watch it next week? Probably so, since we're talking about it. So now I gotta watch it.
He's not gonna watch. He didn't watch it this weekend. He needs some time. So
most likely I'm gonna watch it this next weekend to catch up. But I do see some. Again, I don't know him by name, but I do look forward to see Evander Holyfield's son.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Maxine Dupree's boyfriend definitely stood out, and even to Honey's point. The dude that just with the bandana that was talking crap to Bully Ray, I can't stand him. That's how I know he's gonna get signed.
Wow.
It's gonna work. It worked just as good as it did with the Miz. The Miz, I couldn't stand him, but I'm just like, you know what? Fine. Yeah. I'll watch it every week. Fine.
Yeah, but from what I did see though, like to Deonne's point, I do like the format that they're using. It doesn't seem like tough enough where it's like it's tough enough, kind of like not in a bad way, but also just a critique. Yeah. Felt staged, it felt like it's like, okay, it felt more of like a reality show. It's more of this is like, hey, these are the things that's really happening, and we're just happening to film the process. Because I love like some of the things I see from clips. I love the conversations that like Undertaker is having with these people. Sean is talking to these people. It's like even if I'm not competing, I would just love to be in there just to soak up everything that they're doing and talking about.
Yes, Ed. It's true. It's true.
Take it easy on them knees. They asked you enough already.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just reiterating what he said. He said he's butterless. So that tells me one thing, that you're ashy. Go get some Vaseline or something to hold you off.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna mention one name that no one has mentioned that really stuck out to me. Her name is Panina Tuilepa. She gave the promo in the ring. She is connected to the bloodline, and she had a fire. She called herself P Nasty.
Good.
I don't know who this is, and I like her already.
Let me listen. There are people on the IWC who said she was giving Jacob Fatu promo vibes because her promo was phenomenal. And so shout out to her. I definitely enjoyed her, and looking forward to more of LFG. Again, that's Sunday nights on A&E, 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, it's on demand on the A&E app. All right, so this one's interesting. WrestleMania weekend is going to be very, very full. Very full, including Thursday night. TNA is back in Vegas, Mania weekend, April 17th. And the way it's going down is they're airing, it's on a Thursday night. They are airing their normal Thursday night Impact show from 8 to 10. And then they're going live at 10 with this Unbreakable card on the TNA Plus app. So I'm going to ask this question. I'll start with you, Deonne. Given what we saw at Vengeance Day, the first time that we saw the official TNA Director of Authority in a meeting with the NXT General Manager, will we see perhaps the results of that show up at some point at Unbreakable April 17th?
We have to. I mean, I like, this is like, when I saw this, I was like, okay, there has to be that crossover. More of the crossover. Relationship strong. I mean, you get Santino back in the fold. Yeah, man, like this partnership has been great. And this is, you said, the Thursday of Mania week.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, man, you never know who might show up for that, especially it's a live show. I'm sorry I'm having you repeat it again, but
yes,
you said it was
all the way
live, all the
mm-hmm.
way.
Yes.
Oh God, there's no telling who might show up. You might get those an NXT crossover where I know Oba might show up on Moose that day. You know, you never know. We've been asking for that, but
you mute, honey.
You're muted, honey.
Honey is muted, but she's spitting fire over there.
I can feel it.
Who keeps muting me? But anyway,
not me.
I was saying that that would be a phenomenal birthday gift for me because my birthday is literally April 17th. So for Moose or Moose and Oba to have a face-off would be wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like with all the crossover stuff, those possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
Especially during that week. This is the most popular week or the most hype week in wrestling from the weekend
and for a lot of people. And for a lot of people, it's about to be the most expensive week.
Very much so. But no, I'm looking forward to this. Again, that relationship has been really strong, and I could see a few surprises within this for that crossover and stuff happening. So super excited about this. That I'm watching TNA again, man. That's wild.
Isn't it?
Loving it and enjoying it. I mean, when they were here in Atlanta, I watched, we sat through 4 tape shows, which was wild because I've never sat through a tape show before. I'm like, man, we're like on week 4 right now. Like I know the entire month, right? But no, it's super enjoyable to watch. And now with that relationship with WWE and NXT, it just makes it that more must see because you never know what might happen now.
I love that. Will we see? Okay, so not only will we see, but what do you think happens in terms of a potential crossover at Unbreakable, honey?
For which side? For women's or both?
Whomever.
Any of it.
Who could show up at Unbreakable April 17th from NXT?
You know, I'm gonna go there. Why not John Cena show up and pull up and say hi to Joe Hendry? I'm just saying, you're crossing over.
Happen.
I mean, go big, go big. I'm going for the big guy.
He's there all week. We might as well, right? Like
I'm just saying, he is gonna be there. We know he's definitely gonna be there, and I think that's something that a lot of us would like.
Okay. Councilman, here's an interesting question. So, Unbreakable is happening Thursday night at the same time as Wale Mania, at the
Good
same
God.
time as God knows how many other things happening that Thursday night. What do you think needs to happen at Unbreakable to get the wrestling world talking?
Sheesh. You need AJ Styles there.
Ooh.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good
Wow.
answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need
Why
the
didn't I think of that? Huh.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
faces. I don't know who he takes on, but you definitely need AJ Styles there.
AJ and TNA in 2025. Oof.
Wow.
Mind blown, right?
Yeah.
Like-
Wow.
You
I remember when the guy had no hair, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Now he has the best hair in wrestling.
man, listen, he beat out Dolph Ziggler for hair, man. I swear to God.
You need
Wow.
an unforgettable match for the X Division Championship, like something like back when AJ Styles was there, and you need Masha to be that hardcore, incredible wrestler that she is. And then, like you said, the pop-ups from NXT. You know, according to Santino, you need Jada Parkour, Eddie Torpedo. You need you need
Eddie Thorpe.
No, you ain't seen the video?
It's hilarious.
Oh, please! If you have not seen the video where he's talking with his daughter about who to go over in TNA,
It's great.
It is hilarious. I never get tired of those two. It is. But yeah, if you need that, and you need something memorable with the Hardys. Something with the Hardys. I don't know if it is them taking on taking on Fraxium or what.
Well, they teased it.
Yeah.
They will put on a match that will have everybody talking. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a couple of ideas. I think for one, I love the AJ Styles idea. Like I just think that's pure brilliance.
It's phenomenal.
It is. I think we get Zarya showing up to challenge for the Knockouts Championship against Masha Slamovich. Yeah,
that one gives you the stank face, like
it. Yeah,
in a hardcore match.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just let them tear the house down.
Let them fight.
Full Metal Mayhem. Like let them just go crazy. I think that night Javon Evans wins the X Division Championship. He is he's a surprise entry into this, the Ultimate X match. He comes in and does that. But here's the kicker. The Hardys and Fraxium, no, because that needs to happen at Stand and Deliver.
I'll take that.
Happening at Stand. And if they really want to do something, let Stand and Deliver be have elements of a continuation from something that happened at Unbreakable.
Moose versus Owen.
Yeah, I think we land there. I think we land there. Certainly for the main event of Stand and Deliver.
Question: Have we ever had All Ego take on Nick Nemeth?
I don't think so. I'm here for it though.
This version of All Ego and Nick Nemeth is pretty sickening. That's a good look.
Yeah.
I will say this with the announcement of, and we didn't even get into this, of Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. It is very clear that they are going for some dream matches and dream moments. And so I think if a trigger is going to be pulled for Moose versus Oba, I think Stand and Deliver is the time.
The time is up. The time is now.
Because they're all there. It all works.
It all works. I mean, they don't have to go anywhere. All right. So Monday Night Raw is happening tonight, and we've got some interesting. We mentioned AJ Styles. He will be taking on Dominic Mysterio in AJ Styles'
This match
first match.
I'm so torn. I don't know.
On Raw. It's going to be crazy.
I know.
we're having qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber. The final qualifier. Oh man, I'm sorry. I know what I meant to do and didn't do it. So sorry. Qualifier. We've got Seth Rollins, Finn Balor for the last spot in the men's qualifier, in the men's Elimination Chamber match. Then the last spot in the women's Elimination Chamber match. Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. We also have, for the number one contendership for the Intercontinental Championship, Dakota Kai taking on Ivy Nile. And this one right here.
Tonight's Raw is cooking for no reason.
This is going to be a fun episode.
This match is going to give me elements of that good best out of 3 match that we got from Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy when they were in WWE.
Man, listen, Penta and Pete Dunne. This is giving me Lucha meets NXT UK, and I love every minute of it. So that's all going down tonight. Very quickly, your predictions: who's qualifying for the Chamber?
This one's tough, man, because I really want Finn to win. I just want to see it. I would love to see Finn in the Chamber, but we know story-wise what's going to happen. So it's going to be.
Or do we?
Well,
no,
because I have a theory.
I do too.
I got a thought.
Please give it, because I'm really.
Well, no, I want the people. I always like giving the people a chance to.
Oh, but you did miss one thing, that AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio's match is going to be sponsored by Maybelline. Best hair in the business.
Great.
Maybelline is
Maybelline's makeup.
That's good.
I said what I said. Okay.
Listen. Hey.
You married people, whatever.
Hey.
Whatever. Well, like I got Maybelline in this house. No.
I don't even use Maybelline, but I know that's makeup.
No, wait. What was that shampoo color they say? Maybe she's born with it.
Look, that's Maybelline.
Yeah. Oh, you know
L'Oreal, because you're worth
L'Oreal.
it. That's what you're thinking of.
Neither one. I'm thinking of Tresemme. Wow.
Tresemme.
Ooh la la.
This is hilarious.
I
don't use none of that stuff no more.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wow. Courtney, quickly, who's going to the Chamber?
Quickly. Like I said, this is going to be a tough match because I would love to see Finn win this. But
are you going to watch it?
Tonight. Yes, I'm gonna watch Raw.
Oh, you're gonna watch Raw? Oh, okay.
I've always watched Raw.
Courtney, let him know.
I've always watched Raw.
To the ground, sis.
I watched it. I actually helped Mare with his watch along last week.
But you haven't had one with me.
Yes, I have. We
were competing against each other. You had Dynamite. You were here for them.
One of our WWT siblings is feeling really left out.
Oh boy.
I'm
gonna pick Seth Rollins. I think it's Seth.
Okay, Seth. Yeah, I was waiting for your pick. Okay, Deonne, Seth or Finn?
Come on now, do the right thing.
I want to say Seth, but I also want to see Crazy Seth starts happening again. So I'm hoping Finn Balor wins to send Seth over the top even more. That's what I want. I want Bug Eye trying to take Rey Mysterio's eye out, Seth.
Oh,
that's the Seth I want again.
Oh, you want Monday Night Messiah, Seth?
Lord.
Just Crazy Seth. That's all I want.
Cross-eyed Seth.
Honey?
Listen, it's over for the Monday Night Messiah, Monday Night, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Monday Night, okay? It's over for Seth freaking Rollins, because you are not going to get away with double stomping my tribal chief and walking away with nothing to show for it. So I'm sorry, sir. You are not moving on to this chamber because you got a tribal chief that's coming your way. Finn Balor, let's get it. Revive my guy's career. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Finn has taken way too many L's to Seth. So
Too many.
Too many.
I think we hear the music of the tribal chief tonight, and that's gonna fully distract Seth. And then he's really gonna go off the deep end because now you're costing me the world championship again. So
Damn
all right.
And he could.
Let's try this again. Courtney, quickly. Who's going to the chamber?
Roxanne Perez.
She did it. She did it. She did it. She did it. All right. All right. I already know what the councilman's going to say. I'm going to save his diatribe till last. Quickly, Deonne, who's going to the chamber?
Roxanne.
Honey?
Pop Rock City coming to Elimination Chamber, baby.
Councilman.
Pop Rock Mania is in full effect. Roxanne.
Oh,
This will
Roxy
be
Mania.
her official welcome to Monday Night Raw.
Prodigy's
going
first
to the chamber.
Prodigy's first chamber.
It's going to be
like-
great. Going to be great.
Hercules.
And remember, you can watch Monday Night Raw at the top of the hour. I believe we may have a watch along. That's if the mayor is available. We don't
And
know.
get this body butter.
And that too. But yeah, it all goes down tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on Netflix. Should be amazing to watch. All right, here's how you can reach out to us by way of these good socials. I saw that. That's hilarious. Showcasing the body butter. Courtney, how can the people find you?
Oh God, they can. Of course, they can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WWT Live. I will be here Wednesday as I do my.
Of course, you'll
watch-along.
be here Wednesday.
Yes, of course, I will be.
Not
every
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Not Tuesday, just to clarify, right?
Nowhere close to Tuesday.
No.
Not even close. I will be here Wednesday doing my watch along for Dynamite because they're on the road to Revolution and it's stopping in Phoenix this Wednesday. So feel free to hang out with me in the aftermath of Grand Slam Australia. Lots of happening. You can also follow me on at CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram. I actually just posted my reaction on Toni Storm, my client, the timeless one winning at Grand Slam Australia. So it's
Nice.
very, very, very fun. And you know, Mercedes may be the one leading, but I wouldn't underestimate my client Toni Storm. So Mayor, it's gonna be a war of words in the coming weeks.
Oh. Well, all
War
right.
of words.
She has declared war.
Okay. All right. All right. Deonne, how can the people find you?
Yeah, over on All Star Fandom Show on TikTok, Instagram. Got shows out this week. Still celebrating the month of love with Fandom of Love. Have superhero couples, TV couples, and movie couples coming this week, along with Captain America reviews over there too. We'll have some stuff to say about that, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. And also on Saturdays with Will and Honey for the Kayfabe podcast at noon. So yeah, and here when I can make it after work. So hopefully I can make it more often.
Well, it's good to have you with us. Councilman, how can the people find you?
You can find me at the Final Councilman. If you want some of the real heat before you get to that cool off of Wednesdays, come join me on the NXT. we have the greatest AEW acquisition, Ricky Stark signing his contract on NXT this Tuesday. And just so much more stuff going on. We know Courtney won't be there, as she's let us know. But for the rest of you, come on through and join. And then just, so I show how well of a councilman I am. You never know who might pop up on the Dynamite watch along, just to be able to support their fellow WWT sibling. And just also, too, to keep in mind, as Honey likes to say, the parents will not be here Wednesday and Friday. The councilman will be at the helm Friday. So just prepared.
I smell an invasion.
Oh,
be prepared for all.
I smell
There's an iceberg ahead.
I smell a you don't know who I am, but you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
I am predicting a from the professor by Monday.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, honey, how can the people find you?
You could always find me in either Tulum or Santorini,
Oh.
staying centered right here with our lovely body butter and massage candles. Brought to you by the one and only Boss Lady TK. You can also find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew, as well as Saturdays with my boys at the Kayfabe podcast and the Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube and all things Wrestling with Honey on the socials.
Awesome. Well, you can find
Stay
me, of course.
moisturized, y'all.
Oh.
It's just Monday. Why are we like this?
I don't know.
It is
I don't
just
know.
Monday.
I don't know why I'm like this.
Wow.
I don't know.
You guys can find me at Bonnerfied across all the social spaces. I want to remind you that we are less than 2 weeks away from the premiere of Saturday Night Vibe from All Caribbean Wrestling. It'll premiere on Tempo Network Saturday, March the 1st. You'll be able to actually watch it on the All Caribbean Wrestling app, which is now available, of course, for iOS. It's available for Android. It's available for Roku, so you can definitely check that out. Man, oh man. Let's see. Lots of other great things happening as we prepare for things with Ashe Wrestling. Ashe Wrestling TV this Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. With a great match, the return of Darius Lockhart as he takes on Darius Carter. That goes down this Thursday night on Ashe Wrestling TV, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Ashe Wrestling YouTube channel. And immediately after this, before the watch along at 8 p.m., I'm going to do something I have not done in a very long time. I'm actually going live on Facebook. And there's a reason why. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern, find me on Facebook. Come check it out. You'll see what's going on. Some cool things happening over there. In the meantime, you can follow all things Women's Wrestling Talk at WW Talk Pod. www.talkpod.com is the website. Shout out to all of you who are watching us on the website as well. You can get great merch there. You can check out the latest articles, and all of the things are happening there. And again, make sure you're following us on all the spaces there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are just amazing, and I am grateful. Okay.
She is making her way.
There she is. So shout out to all of you guys who are rocking with us. I appreciate you all for your kindness, for how great you are to support what we're doing here at Women's Wrestling Talk. Again, top of the hour, we've got a watch along, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you guys feel so inclined, follow me on Facebook, and you'll see what's going on. Some really cool things happening there. But until next time, we're representing for Women's Wrestling Talk. We are the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.